Now that you've chosen to use Hootsuite as your social media posting and monitoring tool for your business's Twitter feeds and connected your accounts, it's time to set up your workspace. In this lesson, we will go over how to set up streams in Hootsuite for Twitter handles. When we are done, we will have created a workspace that looks like the one you are currently viewing, and you'll have the skills to add streams most applicable to what you need to accomplish. On that note, we're going to take a quick step away from Hootsuite. The first thing to do, and when you're doing this, is to think through your objectives for monitoring so you know which streams you want to set up. Let's look at a quick example of how to do this. I have outlined my objectives for today in a Word document, which you can now see. You can use whatever works for you. The format's really not that important, and as you can see, it's pretty simple. What's important is just making sure you go through this thinking. I have 3 objectives. The first one is to monitor what people say about my company. The second is to ensure that my posts are going up when they're scheduled. And the final one is to share our company content from other social media handles. So based on these objectives, I've determined which information in Twitter best gives me what I need. The first one, you want to look for @mentions of my company. For the second one, ensuring my posts are going up, I want to look at my own personal feed. And finally, I'm going to use a list that I call Artisan to share company content from other social media handles. The lists need to be created in Twitter in advance, so if you determine that you need a list, make sure you go and do that now. Once you've determined these streams, we can go back into Hootsuite and see how we add them. When you first need to add a new workspace to it, or you're first using Hootsuite, you won't see what I'm seeing here. But you will have this plus icon right up here at the top, and that's the first thing we're going to click. Then we'll get this blank workspace. We want to title this, which I'm going to call it Twitter today, and hit enter. Once you hit enter, the Add a Stream dialog box will appear on the left. This is where you can add all of the streams that we outlined previously. This is actually not the Twitter handle I want to use. So if you have multiple Twitter handles linked, which is quite possible in a corporate setting, you're going to want to go here, click on this, and change to the one you want. For me, Ellen Matches is my corporate handle. Now let's get back to adding our streams. Our first stream, as I mentioned, was @mentions. Hootsuite makes this super easy. You scroll over, when it's highlighted green, you click it, and your stream is added. Our second stream was my tweets, which is right here, so we'll add that. And then finally, we're going to add a list. So we're going to click on List, and then select the right list. I only have one, but if you had multiple lists set up, those would all show up here as well. You'll just want to pick whichever one is the best fit. The nice thing is Hootsuite will then name that column that list name, so you'll be able to tell what one you're talking about. We've now added our 3 streams that we wanted to add for our objectives. Congratulations! You now know how to add streams for monitoring in Hootsuite.